The sun was setting over the city as people rushed to wrap up their day. At a luxury car dealership, a sleek black sports car sat gleaming under bright showroom lights. The owner of the dealership, a man named Richard, leaned against the counter, sipping his coffee. He was known for catering to the rich and famous, treating only high-end customers with respect.
Subscribe to my channel.
But today, there was an unusual sight. A tired-looking man in faded clothes stood near one of the cars, carefully running his fingers over the smooth surface. Richard's expression darkened. He walked over, his expensive shoes clicking against the floor. "Hey, don't touch that," he snapped. The man flinched and pulled his hand away. "I was just looking," he said softly. Richard scoffed. "People like you can look from a distance. This isn't a place for window shoppers." The few customers in the showroom chuckled. The man's face turned red with embarrassment. That's when a firm voice cut through the air. "That's an interesting way to treat a potential customer," Caroline Leavitt said as she stepped forward. The room fell silent as all eyes turned to Caroline Leavitt. Dressed professionally, she carried an aura of quiet confidence. Richard raised an eyebrow. "And who are you?" he asked, folding his arms. Caroline Leavitt smiled. "Someone who believes respect isn't only for those who wear designer suits." Richard let out a small laugh. "Look, lady, I run a business. I don't waste time on people who can't afford what I sell." He turned back to the man. "So, unless you have cash in hand, get out." The man hesitated, his eyes filled with shame. He turned to leave, but Caroline Leavitt stepped in front of him. "Hold on," she said. "You didn't even ask him what he wanted." Richard rolled his eyes. "It's obvious, isn't it? He's here to dream." Caroline Leavitt shook her head. "And what if he's here to buy?" Richard smirked. "Then he can prove it." He crossed his arms, waiting for the man to fumble and admit he didn't have the money. But instead, Caroline Leavitt pulled out her phone. "I'd like to buy a car," she said calmly. "For him." A stunned silence filled the room. Richard's smirk faded. "You're joking," he said, his voice uncertain. Caroline Leavitt didn't flinch. "No, I'm not." She turned to the man. "Which one do you like?" The man's eyes widened. I could never ask you to do that." Caroline Leavitt smiled. "You didn't ask. I'm offering." Richard's face turned red. He quickly regained his composure. "Fine. If she wants to waste her money, I don't care." He gestured toward the most expensive model. "This one's top of the line. $200,000. Cash only." Caroline Leavitt didn't blink. "Run the transaction." Richard hesitated. He had expected her to back down. Instead, she handed over her card. He took it reluctantly, still hoping something would go wrong. But the payment went through instantly. The receipt printed. Richard's jaw tightened. Caroline Leavitt turned to the man. "Congratulations. You own a new car." The man was still in shock. He ran his fingers over the keys in his hand, his voice trembling. Why would you do this for me?" Caroline Leavitt smiled. "Because no one deserves to be treated like they're less than anyone else." Richard scoffed. "Well, enjoy your charity case. But that doesn't change the fact that people like him don't belong in places like this." Caroline Leavitt's smile faded. She stepped closer to him. "People like him," she repeated. "You mean hardworking people? Honest people? The kind of people who deserve to be treated with dignity?" Richard rolled his eyes. "Spare me the lecture." Caroline Leavitt nodded slowly. "All right. Let's talk business instead. You see, I wasn't just buying a car today, I was also deciding whether to invest in this dealership. Richard froze. What? He whispered. Caroline Leavitt held up her phone. I was considering making an offer to buy this place. But after seeing how you treat people, I think I'll take my business elsewhere. Richard's face drained of color. 5 ***. The silence in the showroom was deafening. The customers who had laughed earlier now watched with wide eyes. Richard swallowed hard. Miss Leavitt, let's not be hasty. I may have misjudged the situation. Caroline Leavitt raised an eyebrow. Oh. So now you regret it? Richard forced a smile. Of course. I'd be happy to assist this gentleman with his purchase. Caroline Leavitt turned to the man. Would you like that? The man shook his head. I think I'd rather take my business elsewhere. Richard's forced smile faded. Caroline Leavitt turned to leave. As she reached the door, Richard called after her. You're making a mistake, he blurted. Caroline Leavitt glanced back. No, she said simply. You did. She walked out, the man by her side, leaving behind a dealership filled with stunned silence. The story spread quickly, and within days, Richard's business was flooded with backlash. His reputation never recovered. Meanwhile, the man who had once been humiliated now drove away in his brand new car, his head held high. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated on more inspiring moments like this. This story keeps Caroline Leavitt in every section, has no extra spaces, and delivers a maximum length, detailed, and engaging narrative with powerful twists. Let me know if you need any modifications.